Hey guys, it's Seabro here, and today I want to talk Maywalls. There are so many uses, it's such an incredibly versatile ability, and there's a good chance you are probably not using it to its fullest, so let's get into the video. Okie dokie, so there are many different types of Maywalls. First, let's look at the most common before we get into the weird ones, the splitting Maywall. These split the enemy from their team. The best place for these are at chokes, such as this one on King's Road, this one on Numbani, this one on Nubus, this one on Lijiang, and this one on Busan. Usually stand flat against a choke to get a clear line of sight of where you need to wall and to avoid pointless spam. The key to this Maywall is communicating with your team. If you wall someone off, but your team isn't ready or close enough to pounce on the walled target, then the wall won't be very effective. Obviously you want to be walling off one or two characters with no vertical mobility. If you wall off a D.Va, Winston, Genji, Tracer or Sombra, then you are likely wasting your wall. It's better to wait for that juicy Reinhardt. Lastly, I want to emphasise, it's often best if you don't spam before getting into position to wall. It's a lot harder for the enemy team to push through a choke if they don't know which side of the choke the Mei is on. Okay, so Maywall number 2, the counter Maywall. This is when you Maywall straight after the enemy team's Mei has also walled. If your Mei follows your main tank through a choke and gets walled off, then you can simply block the enemy team's line of sight to you with your own Maywall. Let's say the enemy chokes your Mei and Reinhardt here. Then putting up a wall here will protect you and help you get through the choke. If you pick a good place for your Maywall, you can even single off somebody else from the enemy team at the same time and get a cheeky kill. Okay, next Maywall is a wall to block off the enemy Mei. Rather than walking through the choke before walling, if you know where the enemy Mei is, then you can wall them off before moving through the choke to bypass the choke for your team. The downside to this is that the enemy Mei then has the Maywall advantage, but it's a guaranteed way to push through the choke, so a lot of the time it's worth doing. The fourth wall I want to talk about is the Annenade wall. By walling behind the enemy team, you can make it easier for your Anna to get big anti-nades and make it harder for the enemy team to back up. It's very situational because most of the time you get a lot more value from using it to block off chokes. But if the enemy is in the open or grabbed and you don't need it for anything else, why not use it to help your Anna out? Next type of wall is a defensive wall. You can use the Maywall to block off ultimates like D.Va Bombs, Transcendence, Coalescence, Visor, High Noon and lots of others. Maywall is a really strong ability and using it at the right time can counter an entire ultimate. It can also be used to block off the damage coming into your team when they are grabbed or shattered. Sometimes it's best to think of a Maywall as a versatile shield. The next type of Maywalls I want to talk about are rotational Maywalls. If you are wanting to rotate around the map and you only have one shield, it can often be quite difficult, especially against spam. So using a Maywall to block damage whilst you move around the map can be a good idea. Often it's worthwhile waiting to have it back up again before finally committing to a fight. Because Maywall is a really strong ability and engaging without it is often a really bad idea. The last type of Maywall I want to discuss is a mobility Maywall. You can use it to get you or your entire team to high grounds where you would otherwise not be able to get to. Often a single Maywall can avoid your entire team having to rotate halfway across the map to get to the enemy team. Here are some good examples. That is it for this video. There are other uses like walling off Symmetra teleports, forcing enemy C9s, saving yourself from falling off the map, hiding your team from setting up somewhere sneaky, and of course, trolling your team. But they are all really situational, and I wanted to keep this video short and snappy. If you did learn anything or enjoy this video, then please hit the like button, and if you have any questions, then chuck them in the comments below. See you next time.